Have you ever wondered what happens when a train comes through a red light? Well, today I'm going to show you not only how it works, but how we install a preemption panel to make sure everybody is safe here at this intersection. Now, unfortunately, I probably won't be able to catch a moment where a train's actually going to be coming through this crossing, but I will be able to trick my system into thinking a train's coming, and it will activate the preemption. So right now, the signals that y'all are looking at have a red indication on, and while the intersection operates as normal, those traffic lights and the ones in front of them will correlate together and be used as pretty much a mimic of each other for the same approach. So let me go ahead and unland this wire here, which will then put it in a failsafe mode, which will then enable a preemption where it immediately makes the main road go red. It gives the side street a green light, but only on the tracks on the approach, where it's gonna flush the vehicles out of the way of the train tracks. It's gonna leave these signal heads back here red, gonna stop vehicles from coming through, and after about 8 to 10 seconds, they will go red on this approach too, meaning no vehicles will be allowed to come into this crossing area, and it will dwell on the highway, allowing it to stay green for as long as it needs to until the train is off of the intersection. Let's reland the cable, and the preemption goes out of the controller, and now the intersection is operating as it should. Now make sure to like the video while I go ahead and install this preemption system and get it all activated, and stay tuned because you won't want to miss anything. Welcome to the fascinating world of traffic signals. Today I am back in Pascagoula, where I'm going to be installing this preemption panel here for the railroad system to be tied into this intersection to that blank out signal. First things first, we need to trace out these cables, know where they're going, figure out which one's going to the preemption, figure out which one's going to the railroad crossing so that we can wire it up properly. So let's get right into it. This cable is a Cat 6 cable that's going to a radio up there, but that's getting replaced, so we're not worrying about that. And then we have two conductors. Now, one of these two conductors, this looks to be a number 10, a two conductor number 10. I would imagine that would be going to the LED blank out, since everything on their side should be low voltage. And this two conductor looks like a number 12 or 14. This would be going to the railroad side. But to verify that, I can go over to that pole over across the street with the blank out sign, uncover the manhole, and figure out which two conductors running to it. Tell you what, that's actually pretty valuable. Let's open this guy up. I'm gonna have an allergic reaction now to whatever this bush is. All right, so in this pole, this right here is coming up. This would be what looks like maybe going underground, either or. Both of these look like the number 10. So the two conductor number 10, that one's going to our blank out sign as expected. So now I know which two conductors are going where. That smaller one's going to the railroad preemption, or the railroad crossing side. All right, so here's the panel. Got two relays. So our blank out signs will land down on this terminal, and so will the preemption. And then here's our wiring harness. I got it nicely labeled, and we also have to get power to it. So we need a hot, a neutral, and a ground. Right here on the side panel, not where this is jumped out, but right over here, these three lugs here have 120 volts. This would be our neutrals, and then our grounds below it. So what we can do now is wire this up, preferably on this side of the cabinet. And we'll find a good little location for it. Run our cables down, wire it in. I'm gonna leave a lot of extra slack in case we relocate it when we relocate the cabinet. So it'll look a little messy now, but I'll dress it up later when we come back and completely redo this intersection, repull cable, and redo this foundation here. And then we will properly wire this up and trim it all down, make it look good. All right, to take back what I said about over here, we Don't really have enough room here. I can't put it on that derail. So I'm gonna go ahead and just set it up on this side. It's gonna look a little better anyways. And I think there's enough slack on all this cable to do so without having to make any splices. Take your handy dandy broken level you just break by ripping out of your bag. Put it on this guy. Let's just make sure our equipment is straight inside the cabinet. And now let's tighten down our panel. All right, nice and tight, panel's installed. We can start routing some of these cables up underneath and get it put up on where it needs to go. All right, trying to trace these cables out the best I can with making it look good, but there's no way I got enough slack to kind of come do and match their prefab harness. So I'm going to just kind of jump it over here and just hope nothing ever hits it. Shouldn't. You know, if you're experienced in here, you shouldn't be just nailing cables and thinking it's a good thing. So let's go ahead and get a zip tie in here. Now we can just run it across, and then I'll have slack to wire up everything here, and maybe enough to make it look good up to the D harness, but we'll see on that one. Bear with me. All right, so pretty easy here. We've routed around our M block where we can get our power, our neutral, and our ground like we spoke of. All of these cables are gonna go on that block that are right here. The other ones, a couple, one or two in my head, are gonna come down to this logic. The others here, and then I think there's a low voltage cable we gotta do as well, but I'll have to triple check on that and get into that. So for the time being, I'm gonna trim these down some and go ahead and land them on our M block. So got power, ground, neutral, got our logic hooked up. Now these two cables right here are gonna come up to this D harness, and this D harness goes into this pin connector and hooks up to this controller here, and that is going to give the inputs of any preemptions in the field. So if you have preemptions on an intersection, you gotta have a D harness and you gotta have it hooked up to your controller. These, thankfully, everything's labeled. So this one needs to land on 26, and this guy right here needs to land on 10. All right, guys, so funny enough, our bucket trucks are in the shop right now. The two we have on the coast are both down. So the state gonna be nice enough, they're probably gonna come out and unback this blank out sign for us. And all I got left now, everything's wired up. This two conductor may be a little hard to tell right there. That one's going to the railroad hut. And then this guy, the thicker one, and I'll pick up my mess. That's gonna land up here too. And that's going to power that blank out sign. Anytime these relays close, it'll send voltage to this lug here. The other one's just gonna land down on the neutral, and it will supply power up to the blank out sign. And everything should work after I set up everything in the controller. So let's get right into that stuff. Whoa, guys, it's starting to get a little dark out here on me. But this cable right here, again, is going to the blank out sign. I'm gonna go ahead and untwist these ones because the white's gonna land down on our neutral block. And then the positive is going to, and by positive, the hot side, it's gonna land here on this pin right here, pin number 4. And when this relay closes here, and I hope y'all can see not just the top of a cabinet, but when this relay closes, it's gonna feed power onto here. This is jumped together. That's gonna send out 120 volts straight to that sign. All right, guys, so the reason I felt like there was a fault on their end, I had to call my guy. Look, I may be the doctor, but my contact with Temple, he's the wizard. I had to go ahead and move this cable over, make it into a fail-safe system. So if these cables right here break at any time, it's gonna activate this preemption, and pretty much the tech is gonna come out and fix it. What I'm also going to do is we're going to separate phase 4 This right here is phase 4. This is still phase 4 back here, and hopefully y'all can see it for these signal heads up here that are short of the tracks. The reason why we had them jump together was everything was melted, couldn't have any cables labeled, and they're gonna work the same together at all times besides when that preemption's activated. Then the overlap's gonna get held red. In phase 4, we'll get a green for about 8 to 10 seconds. People will be able to clear out of this section on top of the tracks, and that blank out sign will get activated by the relay. It will dwell on phases 2 and 6, which is what it's on right now, is these green lights here. People will just continuously be able to drive through Highway 611, won't be able to make a left, and people will be held back here. And it'll be set up working like it should without a train too, by just creating that fault and a fail-safe on there by pulling one of them cables and showing y'all it all working. And what these cables do here, but it's just a loop. So it runs over to there, and they have a contact, a dry contact, loops back around, and it just keeps on sending 120 volts. And when that contact opens or closes, it will break that cycle and engaging the preemption. So let me set everything up, and let me change some field cables around, and we are going to have this guy up and running and working like it should. All right, luckily out here we have low traffic because it's nighttime now. It's not busy like it typically is, and people want to run this road really fast, so I can easily make my changes in the cabinet if I can find my screwdriver, which is right here. Let's go ahead, we're gonna make it overlap A, which is gonna be on 13. I will have to change the flash pattern too, should have to. On there, I'm just gonna change it to red. So I'm gonna do a big pet peeve of my own, but I don't want the intersection going into flash necessarily. So I'm gonna cut these, and I may, when I have a good moment, pull those, restrip it real quick, and re-land it. But for the time being, to get everything set up, I'm gonna move some cables around. We gotta rewire this whole thing anyways. But so stay tuned with me as we do this. I'm gonna try to figure out which cables are for our west side, which is this guy, which is these 3 here. And since these have a load on them, they shouldn't go into flash when I start cutting. There we go. Cables are undone. Our signal heads out there are still on and active. Everything's gonna look ugly, but again, we're rewiring the intersection. It just bothers me, so I gotta say it, you know. I'm not one that usually half-asses any of it. May go into flash, may not. Let me keep that actually. Don't have anything set up on it yet, so good. Now we've already changed the overlap status. This is all gonna be red instead of dark. We took out all the pedestrian stuff. That's gonna be dark because there's no reason, there's nothing on it. Which is unit data, overlap data. We're making we're making our overlap, do standard, type in, parent phase 4, 1 on it. And we're in flash. The reason for that is because I need a jumper, so I'm gonna have to do a jumper. But let me turn my guy back on here. Let's overlap A. You know what, actually, if I got a jumper for a different one, I don't have a jumper for any overlaps, honestly, in here, so I won't be able to have that set up just yet. I'm gonna have to get my soldering iron out. I'm starting to get into a day at this point. But what I need to do now is do a jumper on this program card for phase 4. and phase 13 together, and that's pretty much it. 4 and 13. Get that guy getting warmed up real quick. Got some cable in here, but you just make a little loop. Sorry, I'm shaking so much now. It's been a day. And phase 4 again, and 13, which would be overlap A. Push that together there. Let our soldering iron heat up. All right, I like to feel on it, see if it's hot enough. Put a little solder to the tip. It's melting the solder, so it must melt it on here too. Solder down there, and trying to heat up the copper itself. How do they look? Look beautiful. Ought to look beautiful. All right, jumper's made. Knock that off. Let's just see if it's working. Ah, no other clicks yet. Oh, look at it. Success. All right, that worked. Intersection is out of flash. This is green, so what it's gonna do now, and guys, I'm excited, so I'm telling y'all some shit. But what it's gonna do now is that and this mimic each other, just like we didn't do absolutely anything. You can even tell on the load switches what it's doing. But the moment that this railroad is activated, this one will go green, this one will go red, and this section will clear out the intersection. They'll get held back there, and then after 8 seconds, enough time for these guys to clear out, hopefully. Should be. Oh, you know what? Let me show y'all, dude, because I can show y'all. If I unland this cable, it will send it into that preempt mode. And let's not burn ourselves with this guy. Set it down over to the side for now. And then let me unland this cable, and I'll show you the preemption getting activated right away. And what would you know? Car's pulling up. Now there may be supplied voltage on this guy, but we're not gonna touch anything as we test it. Preempt 1's come on. We're green like it should be. He ran the red light. It is what it is. Let's run back there though and check. Make sure we're still green. We're red here. He ran a red light like a jackass. Green light, going red. That was plenty enough time for all these vehicles to clear out. Gonna go green. Here and here, that blank out sign's gonna turn on, and it's gonna work like it should. They technically ran the red light of the blank out sign, but there's no train, so obviously they can yield like it'd be normal. And now it's locked up like this until the railroad crossing, the train has stopped, and it comes out of the preempt mode. Or on that end of it, when we reland this cable, you'll hear that relay click, and you'll see the controller has already came out of the preemption mode, and it's gonna cycle and work like it should. Cool. All right, guys, so out here with the railroad company, he's gonna activate the relay on his end, and then we're gonna verify, make sure both sides are working properly, make sure the preemption hits whenever he hits his relay in there, and that would mean everything's functioning like it should. Go ahead, hit it. Yep, and there we go. He just enabled it. Preemption's on. These are going green. It's gonna flush the traffic here. It's working like it should. And he just undid it. So it's gonna be able to come out of that preempt mode here in a moment. And as y'all can hear, the crossings are going down. The whole crossing system was just activated. The preemption mode is activated right now. It flushed out that traffic that was right here, and everybody at this intersection was safe. And now it's coming back out of that preemption mode as this crossing behind me is going back up, and this intersection will work as it should and it's intended. He's testing his system, so it's gonna keep going back and forth, but pretty exciting when he does, and cool to see it all work like it should.